aka Powder's thought experiment time. I never read a Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, anything. So I randomly found 2 of them in my local comic shop's dollar bin. I read them. What do I think? Let's go. Fix the hat, aka Powder's Peter A. DeLuca here, and stay with me. Known through Philadelphia, PA, Europe, and the vast multiverse as your eclectic one. People, we have it here. Issues 3 and 4 of something something Captain Marvel. We're just going to get right into it. And people, I love doing this. I thought this was a great idea. Because again, how can I sit on my high horse and say that Marvel has destroyed the comic book industry? They ruined all of their characters. The SJW's won. It's all woke. It's all madness. It's all garbage. How can we say that without being completely random with the pursuit of proving ourselves wrong? So we're just going to hit the drawing table, and I'm just going to show you guys Alpha Flight's in this. Kind of, there's Sasquatch there. I guess this is Puck. But I'm going to read these, and we're going to just talk about them. Because, you know, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? It's just some comics. And here we go, aka Patters. The 2016 Captain Marvel. The famous Captain Marvel. The Civil War II Captain Marvel. And we can kind of say Civil War II is really where everything started to turn for Marvel. Ideas weren't there. Character execution wasn't there. Continuity wasn't there. The overall need to get into storylines, follow them monthly, spend a good bag of bucks annually on Marvel Comics. This is where it turned. And even to this day, I will challenge anyone that says that they're a regular Marvel comic book reader, and if they address that in any type of anything outside of irony. So we get this like cool idea. We get this like Alpha Flight. It's Alpha Flight in space. And just from this cover, I'm a little bit interested. Because we have Sasquatch. Clearly we have Puck. We got someone, and we got Carol Danvers. Like, I would be interested in just to see how what these three are up to. So, Captain Marvel. Great intro page too, guys. In Rise of the Alpha Flight Part 3. Okay. Carol Danvers' agent appointment of Commodore of Alpha Space Station proved nothing short of exciting. Something injuries were sustained. Okay, it's a bad intro. It really doesn't set anything up. And also, I have to say this, aka Patters. I get it. This is the model right here of any comic book company. Advertising. Okay? Advertising. You need ads. But you also need credit pages. Or do you? I don't know. This seems superfluous. This either goes on the inside cover or a little tiny box on the intro page. Because here's what happens. When you open your comic for the first time, people, you should go wild. You should be blown away by something here. And then when you turn this page, you should get something wow here. Like a double page spread. So within a very quick time lapse, very quick moment, you get the idea. You're sold something. You're explained something. But what we get is one comic book page and 4 pages of real estate. Alright, so Carol Danvers is fighting people. We can kind of see maybe it is her. Maybe she's in the original Captain Marvel uniform. Something's not right here. She's fighting this alien. She wakes up. Gotcha. It's a dream. Let this be said. We have a sequence where a hot babe is waking up in bed. but we get no TNA. Where's my TNA, Marvel? This cat thing's kind of cool looking. I might buy that if that was a toy. I don't know. Is Midtown Comics still even open? I don't know. So we get a lot of this back and forth. Why should I know? I wasn't even there. Blah, 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 blah. This was no incident. So they're trying to uncover this incident. So try and figure out what happened. So as we march on, and I have to say, every time we turn the page, and when I'm looking at this after reading it, I'm just pissed that there's really nothing exciting so far. There's just no wow. And then Carol Danvers is kind of like she has something in her head. She isn't as she appears. She brought up my little brother. He's sick, blah, blah, blah. But the lieutenant commander isn't wrong. Someone is trying to make me look guilty. Captain, are you okay? Captain. And then we see like Captain Marvel kind of has this vision behind this girl. Okay, moving on. So in the first couple pages, like we're kind of pitched the idea, right, of Alpha Flight. Alpha Flight already is meaningless. Sasquatch is just drawn in the background. But we get this other cool looking, and we have to, I will say, like, the one thing that modern comics kind of seems to have is decent design work. That's it. I love this design work for this alien vessel, but it's docking, and, you know, they're the Alpha Flight module, but the Alpha Flight base takes it in. And we see it's kind of like bio-organic, and it starts growing on the base, and they jump out there. They try and solve the problem. And then Carol Danvers has this meltdown where she's like fighting spaceships, blowing things up. We're getting really bad expressions right here. But then they zap her, and she's like, what did you do? They throw her in the brig. And she's like, what are you doing? See, Carol Danvers, her entire shtick is she just tries to muscle people. What the hell are you trying to pull? Why am I in detention? You don't remember? And they're like, look, Carol, like, you were bugging out. We don't know what you were doing, so we had to zap you. And the only reason why that gun worked on you is because your powers are depleted. So we get a little bit more investigation, and we get, look at that pattern. They're doing like DNA stuff, a lot of sci-fi DNA talk. Then Carol Danvers goes back to this like Captain Marvel. She's in Captain Marvel's uniform, and you can kind of see it coming. It's not her as Captain Marvel. It's the original Captain Marvel, but not me. I'm Marvel. Marvel, the Kree warrior who gave me my powers. But how is this possible? And then we get this, like, this is where things get silly and trite. This is Brand, right? I think that's this girl's name. She gets whacked. She just gets whacked in the space station. And, we have this, like, I don't know what type of creature this is here, everyone. But we really don't get anything interesting by the time we wrap this up. And I will say, look, people, I bought these for less than 50 cents. But we'll just say 50 cents to be clear. If I just bought this and I spent the $4, I'm not interested in the to be continued. And this series leads into Civil War II, and this series only lasts 10 issues. But yeah, we get these like also Plane A, Plane B, Plane C jokes. We get these like Marvel Cinematic Universe jokes throughout this entire series. We see that the Alpha Flight base is getting infected. I thought I'll strap a rocket to it and launch it towards the center of the sun. Hell yes. It's like we get this like dumb humor. But this girl here, like, I don't know, like, it's just, people, when we draw comics, like, just off of here, off of my drawing desk, we have to draw things to look cool. Like, come on. So where do we go by the end of this issue? Here we go. So let's just say we trudge our way through issue 4. they try and send this other creature, this guy here. This guy's like, I'm there to kill the Kree. She's like, I'm a Kree. We're your friends now. And she's like, look, can we put you onto the spaceship and just shoot you off? And can you just tell people, be our emissary. Help us out. Help us get over this. We're all friends here. We're trying to fight this bigger problem. So they shoot him off to his ship. And his ship blows him up. And it's like, hey, they just shot down our man. What do we do, Captain? Go to Plan C. As soon as I figure out what that is, like waka waka waka. And if we just flip through this in reverse, Alpha Flight is inconsequential to this entire book. I hate these. Look, people might call these Armageddon shots. This is the right stuff. Okay, Armageddon makes fun of the right stuff. I hate these shots when it comes to like people's moment of glory. It's too overdone. And I just have to say, like, the overall action, and if we're working digitally, the same guy penciling should be inking, right? And we don't have that here. Or do we? We do. No, we have one colorist and two artists. People, all this should be one artist. And it's just like we get nothing that pops, nothing that's like truly interesting. I hate how this issue begins, because it begins with this like, collection of the minds. And we have Rocket Raccoon making email jokes. Phil Coulson in, like, people, let me just fix this. Okay, Phil Coulson in the Marvel Universe. I don't care about any movie. I don't care. Phil Coulson should not involve himself in any of the Marvel books. This just comes off, especially when they kill him. And no one ever bought. The reason why the S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show never popped is no one ever bought into the idea of why he returned from the dead. No one wanted him dead. Like, nobody wanted him to come back. They wanted continuity and wanted consequences for actions. So let's just do that. Let's just get rid of Mr. Coulson here. Okay. Goodbye. Goodbye, Coulson. You don't belong in Marvel Comics. So the other point that was kind of bugging me, and I don't know, does this way out work? I just want to show you guys something. Because we get these dumb jokes in here. But when we go into like the value of a comic, and we just don't have captions that work, like for this page, for example, this is like a money shot, right? And we kind of have a build up into it. But if we had, let's just say visually, let's just say we had captions on these two pages, okay? Just off of a visual sense, okay? Just imagine some of this. Just imagine just like how much more real estate these words are going to pick up. So, and you might be like, well, Pete, like, what does that really mean? Like, what's going on here? You're bugging out, DeLuca. No, it's like what I'm trying to prove here. And I hate it when they have shots like this without the character names and their powers. That was something I used to love to read. No one does it anymore. But when we fill this up with captions, okay, everyone? Okay. The book gains more value because we're getting more money. Like we're getting more for our buck. And all of a sudden, like, the book just doesn't come off as dialogue with these dumb quips and a very bad moving plot. So the caption here, like, these captions could add a whole other perspective into the book. So if you're out there and you're making your own comics, if your book is too fast to read, you should charge accordingly. I don't care. If you can read your book in 5 minutes, You should charge 50 cents or whatever. $1.50. I think adding body to your book adds value to it. Adding words to something you're reading adds value to it. And I kept saying that to myself as I was reading this, because you can tell just by flipping through this, there's just not a lot of context into what's really happening. Like the dialogue cannot carry one scene to the next and to the next. It just can't do it. It's a practice that needs to go away. So anyway, I mean, people, I wanted to be proven wrong. I wanted to be impressed. The biggest disappointment is that we don't get any. And you know what else bothers me right here, guys? Hold up here. This is the other thing that bothers me. This logo should be like here. Okay. We should get maybe like some of our other trade dress here. Okay, and if this is a logo that they're pushing, I mean, it should really kind of be like this. It should be noticeable. But it's like like this character here. I don't know who she is. She just looks corny. And like I would even kind of put like just Sasquatch like even bigger and meaner. But there's just no cool factor. There's like no ship in the background here. They put a constellation. But I would sell like where we are. Like cut this short, more space, more ships. Like it's there's so many odd practices, but I don't know why this logo is so, and I get it, they wanted to fit into this background block, but it's just weird, everyone. Poorly executed, poorly designed, didn't change my mind. But we might have to say at this point, the 2016 Captain Marvel series is the beginning of the end for Marvel Comics.